Hello, Expert 2. You have an important job ahead of you. You need to be able to understand how to graph a line using the slope and the y-intercept. This method is great because it's the quickest way, but it also does mean that you need to understand how to use slope and y-intercept. If you are understanding how to graph these problems with a different method, that connection is going to be very helpful, but it's not going to substitute for understanding this method. You will be in charge of teaching the slope and y-intercept method to your group. So please listen to the first explanation. You and your family go out to eat and the total cost is $40 plus $2 for each drink. The total cost y can be expressed in terms of the number of drinks x with the following equation: y equals 2x plus 40. Graph the equation to show the total cost with any number of drinks and remember to label the axes. So I always forget to label the axes, so I'm going to do that first. So I go back to the text and I see it says the total cost is y. So I want to put total cost on the y-axis, and it says number of drinks is x, and so I want to put that on the x-axis. Then I look at my equation, y equals 2x plus 40. The number that is being added, the 40, is my starting value on the y-axis. It's the y-intercept. So I make a point at 40 on the y-intercept. The number that's being multiplied times the x, that is the slope. And slope is the rise over the run. If I don't have a fraction for my slope, I make it a fraction by writing over 1. So from the 40, I go up 2 and over 1. Now it doesn't look like I'm going up 2 because my y-axis counts by 2, but you have to look at the numbers to be sure. So here's 40, I go up 2 to 42, and then I go over 1 to 1. Notice that 1 is here between 0 and 2. So I go up 2 again to 44, and then I go over to 2. So each time I'm going up 2 and over 1. So I want you to take a minute, pause the video, so that you can put this on your slide. Actually, it's already on your slide, but just make sure you understand it before we go on. Okay, this problem I'm going to let you go back and do it in just a minute because it seems like an easier one to grasp than the next one. So we'll do this one together. At 8 p.m. the temperature was 30 degrees and it started to drop at a rate of 3 degrees per hour. The equation y equals 30 minus 3x, or y equals negative 3x plus 30, expresses the current temperature y in terms of the hours since 8 p.m. x. Graph the equation to show possible temperatures and remember to label the axes. So remember, I told you I always forget to label the axes, so I'm going to do that first. So it says x is the hours since 8 p.m., so I'll create a text box for that. There's not much space below it, so I'm going to do it right here. Hours since 8 p.m. And then the y-axis, I need to go back. It says it's the temperature. So for the y, I need a text box that says temperature. Okay, so you can pause the video and do that on your slide. All right, so next I need to take my equation, and it's written two different ways. If you have it written with the x first, it might be easier to deal with that one. So that means that the 30 is your starting point. So on your y-axis, you want to start at 30. It's kind of hard to see, but 30 is the biggest number up here, so I'm going to start there. Sometimes it's hard to re-grab it, so what I do is I point away from it and then I point on it again. And you can see it, like it just takes a little bit of adjustment to get it to the right spot. All right, so I wanted to start at 30 on the y-axis. And then I need a slope of -3. So let me see if I can type this out for you. I'm going to need to underline it. So -3 is the rise. And then since it's not a fraction, you can make it -3/1, and 1 is the run. That's your slope. So starting at this point, I want to go down 3 to 27, and then over 1. Let's see if I did that. So down 1, 2, 3. Oops, 1, 2, 3, and over 1. It just needs to be up a little bit. Okay, pretty good. All right, and then from that point, I go down 3 again and over 1. So from 27, I'll go down to 24 and then over 1. So 1, 2, 3, and over 1. It's pretty good. Okay, so then you take the line and you draw a line that goes through like that. All right, so you should be able to also do 6. Remember to label the axes and do this y-intercept and the slope. And you also want to do number 8 and start with the y-intercept and then do the slope. Remember that you want to make sure everyone in your group understands how to graph with this method so you can explain it to your home group.